There he goes again.
Yeah, baby!
My little buddy here is exceedingly excited because he just switched to Central Pacific Bank.
It's epic!
Without CPB, I wouldn't have a leg to stand on.
All the places we can go. Hi guys, it's Kolby and welcome back to Uncut Hawaii, presented by Central Pacific Bank, the podcast where we get to talk to Hawaii's most interesting and innovative creators, entrepreneurs, and change makers. I'm so excited to be back with a new episode, but I wanted to share a couple of things about this episode. So Andrew couldn't make it, but I just wanted to say thank you so much to Kamaka Dias, the host of Keep It Aloha podcast, and our good friend for filling in as co-host. We had so much fun, and I hope we get to do it again soon. Also, as most of you know, Andrew works the audio board for our podcast. So this was my first time working the podcast audio, and I didn't do a very good job. So I accidentally muted myself and Kamaka, our special guest co-host. I thought about re-recording it because we just want it to be perfect every time. But Augie's track is crystal clear. So Andrew and I are just deciding to go with it. I know it's not the best quality audio that we're used to putting out, but it was still a great conversation, and I'm just so appreciative of Augie and Kamaka's time, and I did not want to make them do it again. So regardless of the not so perfect audio, we hope you enjoy this episode.
Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna do my quickest.
Okay, let's go.
I don't
Look,
even
I'm
know
just
bio.
staring. Let's see it.
Stop.
No need bio. Everything
Look
on
what my eyes
Wikipedia
are
about
doing.
me is fake. Somebody said I made 5 million. I'm like, where? On Wikipedia, 5 million. Where?
Wow.
I still searching for it.
It's still cool, but like, you know, hey, 5 million.
All right, here we go.
Pressure.
Hi guys, welcome back to Uncut Hawaii. I'm Kolby, and this is not Andrew.
Wait, I'm not Andrew? Hello everybody, it's me, Kamaka, host of the Keep It Aloha
All
podcast.
right.
It's Kamaka joining us with our very special guest,
Yeah.
Augie T.
Can I just co-host?
Yeah, let's all co-host.
Yeah, we're all co-hosting,
You're not
yeah.
even a guest, you just said
No.
co-host.
I know. I was like looking up to like make your bio. I was like, this feels stupid. Like everybody
Yeah, it
knows
is.
who she is.
No, but like it's like, you know, I've had like people introduce me like on stage, you know, like no personality. They're just reading off the Wikipedia. He's an Asian, European, you know, person that lives in Hawaii. Like they read the thing verbatim.
And you're just there.
Yeah, I'm like, wow, I'm European. That's awesome. So Portuguese is European, right now. Anyway.
Everybody knows Augie T.
Mm-hmm.
Making Hawaii laugh for over 30 years.
Ooh,
Holy.
yeah, see? 33.
Wow.
Yeah.
And now Honolulu City Council member.
Cool too, right?
District 9.
Yeah.
That's
Now when Kamaka interviewed
watch
me,
list.
when Kamaka interviewed me, I just became this,
Yeah,
right?
2021 I think. You were one of my first guests.
Yeah, the second guest, I think,
Second,
right?
yeah.
Oh,
I
it was
love-
good
I
fun.
love seeing the progress, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even have like a format back then. It was just like, hey, I just want to talk to these people, and I don't even know if I had like an intro or anything or set questions. It was just, let's just start recording.
the
Yeah.
best sometimes. When you don't really have a plan, just tell stories
Yeah,
about
yeah,
others.
yeah. But you just, when you start something, you just kind of start them.
Early on,
Yeah, no need to be perfect.
when there were like quick video, you guys too young for that? Like when the cell phone first came out, they had this
I
thing
know.
called quick video. And I used to walk around downtown and talk to all the crazy people. And then,
Video?
yeah, it was on like a quick video.
Okay.
And you know, if you go on YouTube, you'll probably find like some really like bad grain video of, and I used to think that everybody has a story. So I just walk up to people, hey, how's it? I want to get your name, and then we just stop talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just people off the street.
Yeah. They'll, you know, most people would really open up. Like I met this one lady right on 4th Street Mall, and her family was looking for her for a long time. But that was the beginning of quick video. That was the beginning of like, you know, people seeing things online, and it's kind of cool that happened.
Wow. And I
Yeah.
just looked that up quick. This is before Vine. I thought you were talking about
Yeah, I was
Vine.
like, I'm Vine too. That's the first thing I was thinking of. That's 6 seconds.
Yeah, no, that's sorry.
Maybe
That's
that's
showing my
Augie
age,
thing.
right? That's showing my age.
No, but no, thank you for coming on and joining and talking story. I was like, man, there's so much we could talk about.
Yeah. I mean, for the first 10 minutes getting here before getting everything started, I
know,
think
it's like,
was
stop
gold.
Stop it, we gotta
You know?
record. Stop it.
Yeah.
So how's your new year going so far?
I lost 5 pounds when I was, I started speaking to a lot of people around October, November. It's weird, like how, when I first started running, if you look at all the people that was saying bad things about me, that he's just a comedian, this is not the comedy club in City Hall. You know how they were attacking, and then, you just do your job. Right? City Council, you vote yes, no, you vote on things that that are going to help better the lives of local people. And that's why I think everyday people with common sense should run, because that's the one job where you roll up your sleeve and you get to work. And you can really find ways to help push stuff in the community. So, I had a very decent 3 years of taking a stand on several things, but just letting people know I take this job serious, right? But then I'm also the same guy.
Yeah.
I still do my morning radio show. I go to City Council, and on the weekend I started doing comedy more now because it's helping my mental health.
Good.
Yeah, because everybody needs to laugh.
Tired off of comedy.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. But then, you sit there. No, you sit there sometimes for 5-6 hours and all you hear is remember watching Snoopy? Wah, wah, wah. That's what it's very repetitive. Yeah. And by the time we get to a committee to vote, I probably heard the same thing maybe 3-4 times already. So you sit there and you go through the process, and after a while, I went, look, I gotta get back on stage just for my own personal mental health. And it's been so much fun, so inspired by watching, comedy on Netflix and, just guys around town, just kind of iron up the guys that's doing it now. I won't ever go back to doing the stuff that I did back then on TV where I put on a wig and, I have to, take this job seriously, but one day if I ever get the chance, it's gonna be good fun.
Oh, we're waiting for that day.
Me.
So let's talk about that, how different comedy is today versus when you were doing it when that was in the 90s. Yeah.
You gotta censor yourself nowadays.
No, I don't think so. I think you gotta do what you gotta. Look, I think comedy is still a place where it's sacred. You gonna come in, if you're looking for something bad, you're gonna find them in a comedy club, right? But I always tell people from the very beginning, prior to even me coming here, right? I was inspired by Dave Chappelle. I was so inspired, right? Because edgy, but funny, clever, right? And that's how comedy should be. It shouldn't be on statement. I shouldn't teach you. I'm a reflection of society, a mirror, right? Mm-hmm. If you don't take somebody flopping right in front of us right now, sliding and not funny, then you're not a human. You know what I mean? For the last 30 years, and I've become soft. Not gonna lie. Because you in government you become more empathetic. That's why when I was listening to some of my tapes, I was like, ooh. But then I also told my campaign manager 4 years ago, it's Augie, you might have to sweep your social media, because you had stuff on that, right? Stuff I did that maybe might be questionable, but again, I think comedy, right? If the intent is not to hurt. If you don't have a malicious heart, right? I think it's different. And when you go to any kind of show, you watch somebody talk, you can almost smell the fakeness. Ask anybody there. Somebody walks on stage and a guy's talking, and you just kind of looking at him and going,
yeah, totally. People can pick up on that.
And we forget that in communication, almost half of it is body language.
Yeah.
It's not so much what you're saying. It's what you bringing across. And I always felt if I'm sincere, even if it's a touchy subject, that's my story, not yours. You can either relate to it or you can leave.
Yeah.
Leave. If you don't like what I said, just leave. That's what I do. I'm watch this and turn the station.
Yep.
pull the plug out.
That's the problem with people on social media. They don't like something, but they keep watching it.
Yeah.
And then they comment that they don't
Correct.
like it. I'm like, if you don't like it, just don't watch it.
Yeah.
Click away.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
so many
yeah.
other things.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
And
I
now,
want to watch see people fail almost.
correct. And now like there's so much choices, right? So like it's a good time, and if you can be as real as possible on
Yeah.
stage and talk about the things that like you're affected by. That's your your view on life, and people come because they want to tap into that. They like find some sort of connection. That's why comedy is done in a dark room where I cannot see nobody.
Yeah.
And it's just a spotlight. Because if you when we first came out of COVID, I started getting calls like, hey, can you do comedy for my family?
On Zoom.
On Zoom, but then I had also like, I did one at a restaurant, I think Roy's. So I was behind a plexiglass.
Oh.
Right? You're behind a plexiglass. But then the light had to be on just in case the Board of Health, whoever can see if they were practicing social distancing.
Yeah.
Right? And that's the weirdest thing because I can see people like, all separated, whereas comedy is like so intimate.
Yeah, right.
And it was like, doesn't work.
You're like a zoo animal.
Oh, but
or
like,
something.
we got, hey, I gotta say we got creative, right? We had like, drive-through graduation. That was like the
Yeah.
most awkward thing, right? Your cousin standing
don't
by a garage. You didn't drive by, started whipping ladies at him. We all became a little stupid. I was like, so like I get to like say all these things on stage and like, and for me it's very freeing and
Yeah.
helps me balance, the other side. I gotta wear 3 hats. Well, 4, being dad and a husband, and so I'm having the time of my life. Can you see?
I love that.
You don't feel like you have to hold back because of your position in politics when you go on stage because of the cancel culture and just because you're at a higher level in government, you can't make the same jokes.
They tried doing that very early on in my run. I had to go in front of ethics because I was still doing commercials, and it basically told me what I can and cannot say. And the thing is, I don't think people come to a show to hear about politics.
Yeah.
And we saw that with Joe Coy, right? He killed in front of a comedy audience. And if you're not doing political satire and you go in front of an audience that maybe don't know you, they maybe kind of know you, man, that's a tough thing to do. I would never take a job that was going to be challenging, that going to make what I do special difficult. And sometimes, guys like Trevor Noah, they do that every night.
Yeah, that's true.
And they're very comfortable in front of that audience. It was cool. I mean, like, he being the first Filipino American to host the Golden Globes was awesome. But you see the backlash, right? It's just, stay in the lane. And for me, like, staying in my lane is understanding, like, what I can and cannot say. But then when you come to the comedy club, you're not paying to see Augie, the public servant. You come in to see Augie, hopefully they're going to make you laugh. And, there is, I could sense, maybe the last 10, 15 years being a little bit more empathetic. My kids are older, they would, and you get your kids questioning you. It's become like one day when you guys have children, and your daughter goes, "He's still doing that doodle joke." So I'm ready to do the doodle joke, but I'm going, so you get that, and then I think I shared this on your podcast.
Yeah.
When I went to work for the mayor on the Big Island, and you see the amount of hurt, and you see the amount of needs in the community, man, it's hard to make that funny.
Yeah.
If you're a public servant. If I was just a comic, for me, there's no gray area. If it's funny, talk about it, because that's the healing process. Like, you know, we are told, like, hey, be honest. You heard that from your mom and dad. Be honest. Treat everybody equal. What does that mean? That means sometimes saying the things that people don't like hear.
Yeah, that's true.
That's how you build character. Like that's why, like, when I was listening to my tape, it was so funny. I kept referring to my dad a lot. My dad always said, I don't care if you're black, green, yellow, I'll treat you the same, because I talk about one of my uncles having hydrosyphilis. He has no, like, water head. Right?
What?
Yeah, like, you know, water in the head. So,
Oh.
yeah. But that guy was, like, the most loving, amazing, you know, guy. And he never complained about anything. My dad said, hey, go cut the grass. Get his kids. And we were like, Uncle, just go cut the grass.
Yeah.
You know, but they don't want to be treated differently. You know, and so when we make things like, oh my God, you know, this is like, you treating them, even, I think you're hurting their feelings by making them feel like, oh, this is for you.
Yeah.
They just want to be a part of something, right? And I used to say, like, I would have bus loads of Special Olympians come to my show, right? And the only people that was uncomfortable was the everyday guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
So quiet. I'm like, you know, they came for the same reason you came, and they sat in the front row, was disrupted because they was laughing before the punchline, but was the most, you know what I mean, we had the most fun because, like, I get it.
They're happy to be there.
Yeah, and they're not feeling like, you know, I put them in the front row. You just see how awkward people get, like, you know, and we forget, like, what is that? We talk about a law. What is that? You know, I think a law is just looking at somebody, you know, with pure eyes, being genuine, and treating them with respect.
Yeah.
Not looking at them like they have a handicap, or, you know, they like feel like everybody. They like, you know, they like be a part of something. So that's why I like going back to doing comedy on stage, because, you know, I'm having fun again.
And you have a different perspective too after being in office.
Little bit, but like, you know, there's a freeing effect when you're on stage and you can just kind of say what you feel and express. I did dry bar comedy just before the pandemic ended, and, you know, I talk about my gay sons, and now, like, everybody, if I don't talk about my gay sons in that act, it's like Prince not singing Purple Rain. I don't want to talk about them, but then everybody's kind of waiting, right? So I did that on Dry Bar. I think up until this point, it's like 2.5 million views.
Wow.
And if you read the comments, it's not them saying, oh, he's being mean because I performed in front of a male audience. They like the fact that I was genuine and saying, I love my kids. I just don't understand them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, why you gotta be extra gay? Why can't you just be gay like your brother? You know what I mean? Like, so, you know, and then you cannot, like, it's not funny anymore. When I did this 30 years ago, it was like almost groundbreaking.
Yeah.
Somebody in Hawaii is talking about gayness. I'm like, talk about them, because everybody's gay now, so who cares? You know what I mean? Like, used to be, if I go, oh my God, nobody's like, oh, he's teasing. They go, oh, I know that guy. You know what I mean? So,
well, that's kind of what people are wanting. Like, you want somebody to push the boundary a little bit. It's funny, like, people want just say it. We want to say it, but you say it, you know?
It's the same thing where it's like, I don't want drama in my life, but I want to hear about everyone else.
Yeah, everybody's Portuguese. Everybody like tune in. What you just said, you know. Everybody wants a sneak peek, you know, in the house. But again, the comedy or the comic is a reflection of society. You know what I mean? We talked about that, right? How it's recycled. You remember you're saying all these guys coming up, all the stuff that you're seeing, guys doing short clips of, you know, being the local brother. Like Andy did it. Prior to Andy, KK Kaumanua did it. Bulaia did it. I mean, Bulaia's whole act was Frank De Lima, a mesh between Frank De Lima, Andy Pumatai, and Tremaine Tamaosi. You know, and a lot of reference to, you know, stuff that these guys already did. And then when I was coming up, I like the rap, the character, but in my head, I wanted to be I like people know me as just Augie, like the guy that was from Kalihi and talk about this and talk about that. But like, you stole bits and pieces of, everybody's essence because, we familiar, we know that person. Oh, these guys are iconic, and you want to follow greatness.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
Especially when you were doing comedy and you
No worry. You can say at this point, Kobe, you can just say, Kobe, at this point, you can just say, Uncle, back when you was doing, and I'll be okay. I bet that, I'm 55, but honestly, I run circles around a lot of young
I
guys.
believe it.
I still feel like, should I probably could go like 5 rounds, in boxing, in my head, but like, that's it. That's it.
No, but back then, without social media and other people promoting you, just random people sharing your stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a different game back then. I mean, and then to have these guys being kind of the trailblazers, and of course they were the ones to follow.
Yeah, it was tough. We had to at the big radio stations. They're like, "Hey, can I be on?"
Really?
Yeah, and then I had to go spend a whole weekend putting up posters. Hoping, but a lot of it was kind of like social media, but was just if you were good, and it was like Amway, and that one person saw it, he would tell 10 people.
And then those
Right?
10
And those people
would
tell 10.
more people.
Look, I woke up one day, I was filling in for Frank De Lima, and I guess some people came to see Frank De Lima, but he was out, and I filled in, and I did his spot. The next week, man, the thing doubled, and then Frank said, "Don't do my club again." But but that's how it used to be, right? And you went out and you hope to get on TV, and so you guys gotta hustle more because there's so much competition. What makes Kolby unique, or what makes Kamaka unique, and for me, I'm writing my new show. It's called I Was Famous Before the Internet, because I'm at that age where I understood how it felt when never had the internet. And then I had to learn about, how to, send, share, but yeah. So it's fun, I feel like I'm like the luckiest guy in the world. I get to experience both sides of the aisle.
Yeah, for so long.
For long,
You're still
yeah.
doing
Like a really
shows.
long time.
A really-
Like really, really long time.
55 is not bad.
I'm joking, right?
No, thank you, boy. thank you, boy.
So you're up for re-election, which means that you kind of like it. You kind of like the gig, right?
I do.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's the most amazing thing. I think, one of the things that I really, so if you've been following me and you go to my website, you see that I put on my website, you can do everything you love doing and serve your community. I think one of the things that I that came across was that, it's an honorable job, but at the end of the day, you should still enjoy doing everything you love doing, and you should serve your community in some small way, right? To make people's lives a little bit better. I ran because I was pissed off. Why is my mom and my dad in my home? These guys work hard all their life. And when my dad died, I'm looking at my mom now and go, when are you leaving? No, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's for me, it was man, how can these guys work so hard and yet cannot afford to live here?
Yeah.
Because my dad had a need medically, and it was too hard, right? Or my children, will they ever be able to buy a home? And then, I live in wherever, and then every day I look at the rail and who's riding this thing? Who's paying?
Yeah.
Everyday people that will never ever ride the rail is paying for that stuff. Did we make good decisions? And for me, it's just I'm a simple guy, I'm not perfect, right? When I look at a budget or any kind of thing, I'm like, how is this gonna help my neighbor? It's gonna make your life a little bit easier. And I always tell people, being there for 3 years, it's like I compare government to a 55-year-old guy, overweight, middle age, and every day I think about stuff like, today I'm gonna run. Today I'm gonna eat good. And without accountability, without being transparent, you just stay a 55-year-old middle-aged fat guy that stays in a hole, right? And I think we've been in a hole for so long that you need to keep the people that's running government accountable, right? Because if not, their solution is just keep throwing money to stuff that don't work in hopes gonna catch up, right? And that's why it's important. You guys watching, consider running for office. Better yet, vote. Don't even think. There's 500,000 registered voters and only 33% vote in Hawaii.
That's crazy, yeah.
So the party, right, caters to that 33. And then the 60 just mad every day.
Just not. Just
My vote no count. Your vote count. You know, we saw BJ go in front of thousands and thousands of people, right? I call them the Chihu crowd. The Chihu crowd, if they vote, can get changed. But they don't vote. They Chihu, right? They get mad. They testify. They sound amazing, but they don't vote. You gotta vote. You gotta. If you like change and make real difference, you can. You can, because government is made perfect so that you and I live in harmony. We become fat because we pander, right? You talk to your politician and you go, hey, uncle, you think you can put a speed hump? And I go, what for? Well, you know, the car's speeding in this. Oh, it's gonna cost $20,000. Yeah, I'll go take it out. And it never gets put in. 5, 6 years down the line, right? How about if we just tell people, drive the speed limit? But nobody does that, right? Yeah. You get illegal fireworks. Anybody listening? It's illegal. If you cannot, if you cannot enforce it, you know, why are we doing it? Right? So it makes a politician or the public servant weaker because the everyday public guy that's yelling and screaming, thinking not doing their job. But it's just years of being in that hole.
Yeah.
Right? And the only way you get out of the hole is if politicians can say, one, take ownership of the mistake, and then change, like fix.
That's all I ever wanted in my politicians, is just to say, I don't know, or maybe I did something wrong, apologize, instead of just pretending.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing. And like going back to comedy, like the biggest thing you can't fake is authenticity.
Correct.
And with the politicians, that creates so much distrust in the community, because you see somebody like they're just a sheep, or they're just like a puppet for this, and they're saying things that they don't even mean.
That's why I feel like I'm like the luckiest guy in the world, that being the 33 years of the criticisms that I had when I ran for office was just, I think, preparing me to look people in the eye and not lie to them. You know, the comedy in the 33 years was like authentic.
Yeah.
Of course I exaggerate. You gotta exaggerate everything you do, but it came from a real place. You know, when I talked about my dad giving me lickings or being molested, it came from a very real, uncomfortable place. You know, your children being gay, your Samoan neighbor beating you up. It all came from a very genuine place. I don't know how to, even when I'm faking a funk, it feels like Uji.
Yeah.
You know, how's that word? That's some old
Uji.
school word.
I haven't heard that in a long
Uji. Wait, that's a ka'u word? It's not a ka'u word. Dude, by the way, I love going to, you know why I love going to ka'u? I still make that like on my path to like, and I'm going back, you know, as I prepare for the new special. Because I like going to ka'u because get the community center. I promise to God, Kolby, I do a show there, like maybe every couple of years, and people, they do come out. They dress up nice, and they're sitting on like,
That's a benefit.
and they get like, the metal fold out chairs. It's like, I get videos, but they're all waiting. Oh, it's like the best because, you never, yeah, and I love going to like, small towns. And I think they're very appreciative because normally they gotta go to Hilo or Kona, but you go and you pop in to Ka'u, right? And you're using the gym light. No theater. It's, it's open. You can see everybody, and it's just so pure.
It a little bit.
Yeah,
Kind of smells.
it's pure.
It kind of smells.
No, and then
right?
everybody like you hang out at their house. Like
Yeah.
I think Mahalo Hole in Ka'u is the longest because you do an hour, 15-minute show and you go, thank you. It's usually good. I can do 15 more. But what is there to do in Ka'u? It's like an hour. Let's go. 2-hour show. And it's still going on the hole. It's like 11 o'clock. I gotta go home. But like I love going to Ka'u, and when I was working for Mayor Kinoi, I think I visited there the most and did a lot of speaking engagements with the students there. That's a special place.
Yeah.
It's a special place.
Yeah. I love being from there. I rep it as hard as I can.
We were just talking about you when I was home for the holidays in Hilo.
Oh.
'Cause my family's from Ka'u.
Oh,
And
so-
I'm related to the Akamus.
Aw.
Yeah, so my mom,
Are we cousins?
I think I mentioned it to you at the hometown legend for me.
Guarantee you guys
But-
cousins.
But yeah, because I was asking my mom
Guarantee.
how we're related to the Akamus. It's through marriage, I think. And then not all the Akamus, because there's two different sides.
Not the Zia side.
No, so this is my dad.
Yeah.
Akamu Whittington is my mom. So Whittington
Oh,
Park,
okay.
that's my grandpa's family.
See, only in Hawaii this happens. Like, we're so like, hey, you like them?
Yeah.
I know that family because he's married. They're married to one of we have a side of the family that they had 21 kids.
Oh wow.
So there's a lot.
Oh, guarantee.
Yeah.
That's a whole town, right?
There's a whole island.
Yeah, I don't know how, or I'm sure we can dive deeper, but at least through marriage we might be related somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Guarantee. Yeah.
Very cool. Right on. There you go. See?
So we appreciate it though. Whenever something happens like that, like everybody's like, "Oh, we love Augie."
Oh.
Then you're like picturing their living room.
No, you guys have a gym there, right? You have a gym there. That's a resolution center, right? I was there when it was being built.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah, wow.
I played in like this creaky wooden
Yeah, the gym.
back in the day. Yeah.
Yeah. No, you talk about like what Ka'u has is what every community in Hawaii has to have because no one knows where to go in case of a natural disaster. So FEMA built it with like I think federal money and state money, and I was there just watching, and I was there when they did the blessing, so it was kind of cool. Yeah, it's like big basketball court that could, but it turns into a place in case because you have a full-on kitchen. Yeah, and I think when I came into the city council and I became the parks chair, that's the first thing I did. So, you think we can do a resolution center, in our communities because when we had the tsunami, I remember the sirens going off and nobody knew where to go. Even though we get told like make sure your gas is filled, guys like holding up their phone, going, you hear them, the siren. Yeah, you hear the siren. It's like, hey, dude, you gotta go upland. But nobody knows. Right? And, so for me, it's like, I look at things like that, I go, we need that. Maybe, we so, into solar, like all our parks should have, the parking shelters with solar so that, and at the same time, like, if you're not rich, I need one break on my electricity. How about we go, rent to, every day. Like for me, it's like, how do I save money for everyday local people? Utilizing government.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no.
I love it. What's been like one surprising thing that you found out when being in politics? Anything?
No, it's everything that I thought.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Actually?
Yeah, it's everything that I knew was going to be hard. I knew that it's a very honorable job, but I also knew that, man, the red tape is so bad. we got to find ways to expedite a lot of things so that, people's lives, flow a little bit better. People that doing renovation on their homes or building, to make things of affordable housing. It takes a long time to get stuff done. There's a lot of stuff in there that needs to be fixed, and that's why, I'm optimistic. I mean, it looks, you see your friends moving away, but in my mind, I go, you can get this thing fixed, right? And again, it's gonna take you guys voting. Yeah,
I
because it's
really
new
like you say
ideas.
that.
Yeah.
I don't, I think we're kind of just not optimistic when we see politics and leadership and we're like, oh, we're on our own. Like, what are they really doing? But I believe you when you say that.
Yeah, I know. You go in as the everyday. That's why it's important. Government was made so that the everyday guy can go and represent you, right? And become, and you get all these, I'm so thankful that I got an amazing staff, that somebody knows policy and somebody knows, this and that, so that I can go, hey, what does that bill really mean? Or that, a lot of abbreviations in government.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate that. I gotta always ask, what does that mean? But a lot of paperwork, but I get staff that went to school for that. So you find people that's like-minded, and then you go, how do we challenge that? Or how do we make that better? How do we make that better? And it's everything that I thought, it was gonna be hard, but if you get good people around you, with the same mindset and the same goals, you can do a lot, and I think one of the things that I think we need to do more is educating the public. A lot of people don't know. I do a bit. And I'm going to do my bit because I don't care. You can go, usually comics don't like doing their bit, but I do this bit on how no one in the 33 years, no one has ever come on stage, slap me, or heckle me. Honestly, one guy did at Blue Moon and we almost went fight. But, I was on what they call that, a sea guy that goes out. No. He's, gosh, there's a name. They go to different ports. Anybody in the room? Anyway, okay, so that he was drunk, and he was just, yeah. And I go, yeah, you come up and do this. I said, okay, I'm going outside, I'm going to wait for you. And I waited. Everybody thought it was a joke. I waited.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
No. Baby boy coming out.
Yeah. That's, because people come and they pay money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Get out.
Mm-hmm.
I think that happened one time. We were in Hilo, and BJ Penn thought that was an act. Somebody did the same thing. And I always do the same thing. Whenever I get, I go, I'm going to stop. I'm going to wait for you outside.
Imagine if teachers did that to their students. Because that's not allowed, right?
No. No. But, I got a plan for that too. But, no, honestly, I got a plan for that. I just think, any kind of social worker or former police officers, right? If you get one disruptive student in class, how uncomfortable, that person is making the whole class. The teacher there for teach. And now I feel like teachers are just babysitters with disruptive, children who, no mean to do that, but I think a lot of it happens because what's happening at home, right? What if we took that student and took him to the most awesomest place in school, the cafeteria? Think about your life going to school in the cafeteria. That's where you did the most speaking, you had a great time eating lunch, but you had maybe, a Captain Kealoha that understands, Ho'oponopono, that can talk, dive into the mind of that kid. So when the kid is in class and the teacher go, can you go see Captain Kealoha in the cafeteria? And now an office, because once a kid come into an office, they almost feel like, ooh, they're going to get into. Yeah. Go to the cafeteria, have some, what they got at the potato a little small potato.
Some tater tots.
Tater tots. Just
You
have-
even have people wanting to go there.
no, but like, you have tater tots, right? So it feels comfortable. And the guy goes, hey, why are you so upset today? Just talk story like this. You know, and while the teacher can go back and doing what she gets paid to do. You get teachers calling parents and the parents threatening the teachers. Oh, my kid not like that, because every kid is an angel, right?
Oh, mine are.
Yeah. Oh, but you know what I mean? So like I think I did that not to like call anybody out, but like this is very disruptive. I'm gonna stop the show because it makes it uncomfortable for me and the audience.
Yeah.
So I just stop. I go, I'm gonna be outside.
Yeah. What
Then
if
there's a timeout period.
Yeah.
You know, they're gonna either walk outside, try fight, but then by the time you get there, you gotta deal with like my cousin.
Yeah.
You gotta deal with some of
Yeah.
my other friends.
Everybody got their phone out.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you just like, dude, stop.
Yeah.
Right? It's nothing. But what happened was, no one ever done it, and I get elected. 2 weeks into it, my brother come up with his 4-wheel truck. Because once you run for office, they know where you live, they know how much money you make.
$4 million.
$5 million.
This brother came up with his 4-wheel truck, his upside down Hawaiian flag. And it's like, yeah. And I
Take
go,
to your house.
yeah, but like, because we don't educate people enough, they don't know the difference between federal, state, and city.
Okay.
I'm like, dude, city, rubbish, water, fire, police, I,
What was your dad about?
the telescopes.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm like, but you on voice. I go, dude, I cannot even convince my wife to control the remote control. You guys had Rock and Aquaman. You know what I mean? What I gonna do like you? Take the telescopes down.
Anything for you, Augie.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So but I get it. So like, we have to educate the public. That's all. We
Yeah.
just do a better job at educating the public. That way, you don't come harsh against the person that would put his neck on the line to go serve. And maybe that's the reason why nobody wants to serve, because that's all they see is people yelling, screaming.
Angry.
Yeah.
That's.
But you
true.
need people to sit down. Yeah, it's not like, what's your solution? Yeah?
I honestly don't know what's gonna need to change, because I feel like social media is like one of the most ignorant places, because they just see small clips and then they believe it, or
Yeah.
nobody wants to put the extra work to understand.
Correct.
And we can say, oh, you gotta vote. You need to let your voice be heard. And then where we know so many people are like, oh, it doesn't matter. I started voting in the last couple of years, but I was always like that, like. What's the point? Like, we're a blue state, nothing's ever gonna change.
Yeah.
And you see it more and more. And then even with BJ Penn, like that whole time, it's very exciting. The minority's really loud.
Yeah.
And, he loses by like 100,000 votes. You're like, how? There was
Right.
so much support. But people don't understand that the people who are loud, they don't vote.
They
Gonna vote.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I honestly don't know what's gonna change.
Well, I think, educating the public a little bit more. I think social media is good and bad, right? Like, so what you using this platform for? Like having like fun conversations like this. Like, it's not a bad place. You find good people that's genuine, can make great changes. Because like I said, man, it was made perfect so that we can live in harmony, right? We just got fat because of pandering. You can say special interests, right? Like, you gotta vote this way, because I gave you money. One of the things that I'm so thankful for is that, I won an election with like very little money. And you go look at my opponent prior to that, it was like, in 100,000s.
Wow.
That was backed by, special interests, unions, and blew my mind. But like, I get it, I understand, you know what I mean? Like, think about if somebody gave you a ton of money, Kolby, and then
To run for office?
No, like not somebody like
Yes.
you had a ton of money, like Kamaka.
But like it for the podcast.
Right. Well, anyway, right? But they tell you, you cannot do this.
Yeah.
Wait, but that's not how Uncut was, or
Yeah.
that's not how it was.
Yeah.
You do it, and pretty soon you just watered down.
Yeah.
And I think, it's easy to get caught up in that trap. So we gotta, we gotta reform things maybe, so that everybody on equal playing field to want to run for office or make a difference. I don't know. I just think there's 67% of people that don't do it, even though they registered. Remember how fun it was, like when you're little, you saw your mom go behind one red, white, and blue curtain, and you're like, what they doing? Like I like going
No,
there.
it was a big deal.
Yeah. It was, and I couldn't wait to do it. I couldn't wait to become, an adult, 18, and go behind the curtain and go, oh, this is boring.
They need like a confetti thing every time somebody
Oh, then see, there you go.
out and there's like
There you
a
go.
mariachi band
Yeah.
and like confetti
There
and
you go.
whatever,
Yeah,
fireworks.
yeah. That's
Everyone
funny.
vote.
And now you probably can with the technology, right?
No, that's how you get the locals to vote. Fireworks after you vote.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Confetti, like, right?
How do I put that?
That's a great idea.
How do I make a bill with that?
Right. Look, if you complete the whole ballot, you're an aerial.
Yeah. Hawaii has one of the lowest voter turnout rate,
Right.
especially in like my demographic.
Yeah.
But what we love, fireworks.
Yeah.
And make them go vote in Waipahu. Waipahu. And then auto fireworks over there. They already get up the side.
That's too
One
funny.
Okay,
See, look how funny. Look, that's how. If you did that on stage, people would die laughing. But like because it's funny and it's genuine, right? And that's why comedy is important. Like it's so out of the box thinking, right? Like, okay, how do you get people to vote? Lottery maybe, or fireworks?
Yeah,
right?
like gamble.
Yes. That's right.
Free trips to Vegas.
That's right. Yeah.
A giveaway of something.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
There you
it.
go.
Oh yeah, you could, if you vote, you're entered into the giveaway. Partner with Hawaii or
That's funny,
Alaska.
dude.
Yeah,
You ride the rail, you got a lottery ticket.
exactly. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, look at it. We're problem solvers. Man.
That's right. I see future council people in front of me.
Oh no, never. I would never. I don't know. I feel like you could.
I could not.
No, I think you guys would be
I don't
good.
have that tough
No,
skin
it just doesn't interest me. I feel like I can make a lot of changes
Yes.
other ways.
Yeah.
Well, no. Look, Larry, Larry Price. You guys know Larry Price, right? Mike and Larry. Maybe about 20-something years ago, I really wanted to run. And my comedy career was like, really, I was just doing my stuff. I never thought that a hobby was going to take care and pay for my kids' school,
You need to find a real job.
Yeah. So that's why a lot of people still go. Someone just asked me a question the other day. Do people still recognize you as a comic or not a city councilman? And I think early on it was just comedy. Now people kind of see, right? But like, I remember being, maybe at the same age as you, and Larry Price was like, you can do so much more. Well, he was more like, listen, because you ever, the fact of the matter is that it's stupid that you get into that. Use the talents that God gave you, and do amazing things. Katoosh, and I remember my boss at that time was Clear Channel, was like, dude, I'm paying you a ton of money for be stupid. Just be stupid. You know what I mean? Because there's a place for everybody, but I want to, make a difference. But it took me, 20 years, and I'm putting it out there. You guys will probably be in office. You'll probably be the governor. You'll probably be the mayor.
Lieutenant Governor.
Okay, I can see that. Yeah. I like to be the boss.
Think about how, if you guys did a podcast from, the state capitol, just saying, look, this is what's happening.
We're announcing that we're
Yeah.
running.
So the reason I'm here today, people,
Was all set up. Was all set up that way.
we're actually here asking for your blessing.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Friends of Kolby and Kamaka, write your checks right now.
Nice ring to it.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I would never, but if you needed somebody to support you,
A lieutenant.
yeah. I'll think about it. Yeah, because I'm a big fan of Kobe.
That's awesome. Yeah.
No, likewise. So what's on tap for 2024? I know we're just starting the new year, and you got a lot going on.
Yeah.
You
Always.
Yeah.
Gotta,
What
like-
are you excited about besides?
I'm
definitely do more comedy.
Yeah, I'm excited about, I was famous before the internet, like getting back to like
When
writing.
is that coming out?
I don't know yet. I'm looking at maybe August, September. I'm going to work the bits out to where it's like a solid hour
Yeah.
and see what happens. It's exciting. That and winning reelection.
Yeah.
We're working hard. I already did over 8,000 homes walking. I get signs up. I people know that I'm taking this thing serious. The first time, never had money, and I've been able to use the money that people donating to my campaign to do the right thing, and so we get signs up, and I got a small team of cousins. So funny, those same guys, my cousins and some of my best friends.
The
And I-
bodyguards from
oh,
your shows.
No, it's so funny because the first time that I ran and I signed to be a candidate, we took a picture, and then people on social media go, "Dude, get 3 guys who was in jail in your picture." I was in jail. Yes, my brother. That guy was in jail. That's my cousin. That guy was in jail. Yeah, that's my best friend. Yeah, no, so weird, but those guys, they woke up every day, and we became closer because I have a very dysfunctional family, so having my brothers come on my campaign and my cousins who maybe did bad in society to come in and help, it felt like they were giving back. It felt like there's a purpose. Dude, I couldn't run away. I sleep 4 hours. I'm a 4-hour guy, right? I get calls hey, we out here already, 5 o'clock. I was come in. Relax. They were holding signs, Yeah, I know, it was nice. Yeah. And I think that's the cool part about running. You find really genuine people that help you. They give, when Auntie gave me $20, that probably was the best thing. She said, yeah, I only have $20. And you hear those stories, when you telethon. But when you hear an auntie look at you and goes, yeah, help you, 20. I go, auntie, I can buy 2 signs with that. Oh, for real? Yeah, thank you. I think that's so genuine and so cool. And it tells you that they trust you to make things better.
Yeah.
It's like people listening to your podcast or following you. They trust you because, they see the genuine in both of you, and that's why they keep coming. I think that's the biggest thing, right? Yeah, you get the naysayers, you get the troublemakers, but your fans or the people that's following you, they love you guys, and there's a reason for that. And look, like I said, I can always be optimistic. 2024 gonna be one solid year. I'm trying to get my finances in order like everybody else, get in shape, and travel maybe a little bit more.
Where we going?
I don't know. I wanted to go to Italy for my 20th wedding anniversary, but
I thought you were gonna say 20th birthday.
yeah. No, but what happened was my daughter's a Hawaiian Air flight attendant, right? So we get to fly, but my wife is also her Uber driver because nobody likes to drive now, I guess. None of my kids drive.
Oh, really?
At 12, I was like, give me the keys. No, they catching a bus, and cool, right? So, it was oh, we have to stay home because my hair. I'm like, yeah, but why is she coming with us?
I
Yeah, he said, yeah. You know, why I gotta spend money on her? You know, I'm already spending money on you. Yeah, but it'll, you know, it's gonna happen. Yeah, we're gonna go travel.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited for all the things that you're going to be doing this year. I'm excited
Me
to come out
too.
to the show. I'm going to come out to the show.
When you guys want to come?
I gotta go too. I haven't
Next week?
came to.
Next
Next
week?
week?
Next week?
We're there.
Okay, you guys are my special guest list. We got like 2 weeks. So the No Vacancy Comedy Club. Let me give you guys how that came about, right?
Okay.
So my daughter has a nonprofit, anti-bullying nonprofit
Love
called
it.
Brave Hawai'i, right?
Yes.
So every month we go to the mall to get kids that's in her leadership program that loves to sing, dance. So we feature them, right? So we go there monthly, and I noticed, man, stores are just disappearing because, you know, people buying stuff online. And one of the coolest places that I performed was in a mall on the mainland because it's like being in a casino, right? You get all these dads waiting, like, wow, or they why spend the money. Now they can go into a club, laugh, and still have time to eat. So had all these openings, and I approached Purridge and I said, hey, what you doing with that store? Because they do pop-ups, right? But like, we'll turn that into a comedy club.
Smart.
Yeah. And it's like the coolest thing. You talk about like, you know, low ceilings, right? And depending on, it's an old clothing store. We use the backdrop of the old clothing store. It's like the back of a stage.
Yeah.
And then we just put up the stage that was in Purridge, the 110, 15 seats that they have, and turn that into a comedy club. And it's like the most coolest thing. And then, so when that store is taken by, you know, a new leasee, we just go to
Another one.
another spot. So it's called No Vacancies Comedy Club.
Oh,
Because the whole goal is to not have a vacancy in the mall, to help small business, but also keep local people keep coming. Look,
You are full of solutions. Wherever you go.
look, you get free parking.
Free parking.
Local people love free parking.
Yeah.
And you can take your food into the comedy club. And we got a vendor that sells drinks. So you can,
Perfect.
you can have an alcoholic beverage, laugh, and the price is affordable, like $20.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so how do you keep people in the mall?
Yeah.
Right? And so I just use the guys who I grew up watching. You know, Andy Bumatai, who is 70. Frank
He's
DeLima, I
in the
think.
show there?
Yeah, so it's me, Frank, and Andy.
Nice.
So when you go to the Macy's side of Purridge Center,
Okay.
when you come in down the escalator, you'll see like 15-foot banners of me, Andy, and Frank hanging inside of the window. And that's the club.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, so you three are doing the show together?
No, we do.
at
So,
different times.
so because I'm the younger one, I do the 8:30 show. And then Andy does like the 6:30. And then Frank does 6:30 shows on Friday. But on Saturday, he does a matinee show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like
That's
noon.
fun.
Yeah, at noon. Because, you know, he's like, okay, you know, my audience. Oh,
That's the kupuna hour.
yeah. Yeah, you know, they walk the mall right in the morning. And then by the time they do their second lap, it's open. They just walk in. Ooh, this is great. Dude, that's like the best. I did cruise ships. No one told me the longer the cruise, the older the people, right? So,
the cruise,
yeah.
yeah.
So I had no idea. I started doing cruise ships, and we did one 15-day to Mexico, right? So, and I'm like, oh man, all these grandpas and grandmas, right? And they come in, and they, mind you, they walk all day, you know, and then they come into the boat, and they get all these free shows. But like in the middle of my setup, you can hear. And they all say the same thing. All old people say the same thing. When they come, you know, when the show is done, they shake, you know, because I like to shake everybody's hand. Oh, you're terrific. Terrific. I'm like, you're sleepy. Terrific. Because it's perfect. It's nice in the auditorium. It's dark, yeah. Oh, you can hear. All the sleep apnea. So, yeah, no. So it's perfect for Frank. They're up, they're attentive. They're ready. Come on, do the Filipino Christmas song.
Oh wow! I love that they're still performing too.
Yeah,
That's
no,
so cool.
I think that's like, it's like my way of like, almost like giving back. Like, you know, I produced a show with all of them when Malcolm Bang was,
Yeah.
you know, alive, and I think for me it was, you know, it was surreal because these are the guys that I look up to, and I brought them all together. We did a movie. I never released the behind the scenes because Frank. I gotta wait till Frank died because a lot of stuff that was said in that. You know, a lot of the behind the scenes stuff. You gotta, you know, these are iconic guys that we all look up to, but you know, they get sailor mouth. They swear just like you and I, and some of the funniest stuff. And you know, I gotta wait till Frank die.
Yeah.
Then I'll really sit.
Then you get tired.
Then I'll make so much money. Get Frank's family watching.
Yeah.
What? Better put what she said this season right now. But yeah, no, there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that to me was the magic.
Yeah.
You know, people like see the show,
Yeah.
but like, you know, you see the concept of how they write, their thinking, and it's awesome.
Yeah, I love the BTS stuff. I love what you guys
All of
recently
BTS
did
too.
with- not the band, right? No, the stuff you guys just did with Gooch.
It's bringing
Yeah,
it back on.
yeah. Or just I love the BTS
Yeah.
stuff and just the very casual stuff, like you just in
Casual
this
stuff,
bar.
yeah.
I love that stuff.
People love that. Yeah.
No, if you go on YouTube and you look at any of my TV shows that I did, you know, where I did all these characters and stuff like that, we always left the BTS inside there because that's the magic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was nothing but I was like, ooh, no, that's where the stupidity is right there. Yeah, run that right there, you know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Mr. Council Member, we can't keep you because
I know. I have a parks meeting.
But thank you so much.
Oh, thank you for having me.
It's an honor to have you here and talk story, and you too, Kamaka.
Yeah, I
Thank you
feel
so
honored.
much.
Yeah, it's good to be back. Yeah, and your new setup, it's an amazing
Yeah,
place.
we had Kamaka on our podcast, our first season, or second, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were.
And what happened to your partner?
Something happened.
I think the Chargers didn't make the playoffs and
Oh,
he just couldn't go on with
just-
life anymore. Yeah.
That bad, huh?
It's really
Yeah.
bad.
We miss you, Andrew. We miss that.
Hey, you remember The Office? Do you ever watch The Office?
Yes.
And the scene where Jim is replaced by the Asian guy around the
Oh,
park.
yeah.
That's like this episode.
Yeah.
I'm replacing the Asian guy. I'm Jim. And they just pretend like nothing's changed.
Yeah.
And they change the picture and everything. Yeah.
We'll see who catches on.
Yeah.
No, thank you for being here. Thank you for all you do. Honestly, we love you and we're
Aw.
just supportive of you and love what you're doing.
Right on.
in politics, man.
Yeah, don't forget to vote. Come on.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah,
let's go.
vote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go watch the live show. Have some
Yeah,
fun.
watch the live shows. Come laugh.
Yeah.
We're going to be there till the end of the month. And then I think Homegrown in Perridge is taking a spot. And then we'll probably fill in Homegrown. So there's a short break. But yeah, just come. Just go to... you can go to AugieTLive.com. Just go to AugieTLive.com. Yeah, and you know, because you can go to Eventbrite and you got to go search no vacancies. The problem was the first week I had guys call up honest. Like, I cannot believe you, Frank, and Andy pushing no vaccines. Perfect way to end the podcast. You know, it's like,
Wow.
and you wonder why we're 46 in the nation when it comes to education. Oh, you guys not being responsible, pushing no vaccine. No, boo.
Nobody in there want a penny, man.
Yeah. What's wrong with you guys? You guys kupuna. You guys gonna catch COVID.
On that note, thank you for watching Uncut. Thank you, Augie, for being here. Subscribe, like, follow all of us.
Yes.
Follow the podcast too. Well, guys.